What's up, guys? Darkdally here, playing the Crew 2, and today I want to give you guys some of the basics of how the livery editor works. It can be a little intimidating at first. Let's go into the proper editor here. Now, okay, so the basics of what you want to know with the livery editor is, well, first of all, most of the buttons you need, they're already there on the screen. You can see them up there in the upper right hand corner. Now, I'm using an Xbox controller, so it's going to show those controls, but obviously whatever you're doing, it's going to show, as you can see right here, whatever situation you're in, it's going to show you the controls. But what I want to show you is some of the other things that might not be so intuitive. Like, for instance, here we have, let's back out of this. Here we have my total, my total effing darkness. This is my Darkdally livery. Now, here's the thing I want to talk about. Notice how it's not perfectly lined up. That's because in this game, liveries are not specific to one car. They're universal. So I can have this same livery put on a different car. Now that's actually cool because so many games, they make it specific to one car. But I actually have this livery here. I also have it applied to my 370Z here. And okay, so here's the point of the first thing I want to talk about. That's that obviously every livery is not going to line up the same way on every car because every car is shaped differently. So how do we work around that? How do we move and work with the shapes? This is aside from just the basic buttons. This is more advanced controls, just slightly more to make your own liveries, because it's pretty easy to, pick someone else's, but what if you want to use your own? All right, guys, so here's what we're going to do. All right, so first, let's go back to my Mercedes, and let's fix this because it doesn't quite line up correctly. And then I'm going to show you how we can apply this to different cars and how we can manipulate this more easily. All right, so first, let's go to Customize. Let's go to Livery. Now, when you go to Livery, you can choose from the exclusive ones. These are ones designed by Ubisoft. You can go to the top 100, the ones which people have shared and are the most popular, simply the latest ones designed, the ones that friends have designed, etc. Again, this is pretty self-explanatory. So we go to My Livery. Now here we have two options, create or select. We don't want to create a new one. We simply want to select one we already have. We want to adjust this to fit the Mercedes. And then what we'll do is I'll show you how we can then adjust it to fit other cars if I want to have the same livery, applied to multiple cars. So we're going to go down to select. I only have this one, so we're going to go down to edit. Now again, most of these controls are on screen. They're not too bad. A lot of this stuff is... Okay, so here's one thing we have right here. Notice my total effing thing is it appears as one layer. We have decals here. We have this decal, this decal, this decal, and this one. And this is one that I've made. This is one thing that the game allows you to do, which is really awesome. Of course, that's made up of every single individual letter. And I simply, and we can show this in a future video, I simply combine them together and bam, it's now a sticker, and I can apply that sticker to anything. And that's what we're going to be doing here. That's one thing we'll be doing here. So let's go to edit. Let's edit this layer, and we're just going to bump it over to fit this Mercedes. There. Now it fits this Mercedes. Okay, so I hit A to accept. Here's one problem though. If we go over to the right side of the vehicle, it doesn't fit. So here's actually what we're going to have to do here. We want to adjust this for this vehicle. So here what we're going to do is we're actually going to delete this by clicking the menu button, and we're just going to delete it. Don't worry, it didn't go anywhere because we still have it on the left side. So we can go over here, and what we can do is, so we want to move it on one side, copy it to the opposite side, then we'll just go over here. Of course, now it's backwards. No problem. We'll just hit the menu button and we'll just horizontal flip. Bam. We're done. It fits the Mercedes now. Now, if you want to... Saving a livery in this game is ridiculously easy. Also potentially dangerous because in order to save a livery, all you have to do is just back out and it automatically saves. So I say potentially dangerous because if you make a change you didn't want to make and back out, it's going to save it. So keep that in mind. Okay, guys, so here's the other thing I want to show you. So that livery is now fixed on my Mercedes. It now fits it. Here's the thing. It's now not going to fit my 350Z, my 370Z, sorry. If we go over here, it may not fit it. In this case, it actually kind of does because they're the same size, but let's apply it to, let's check this one, my Porsche. Here, Let's look at this one. Here we have the same livery applied, but the car is a different color. Oh, here we can see it doesn't fit. Now here's the thing. If I go to customize, livery, select, right? And then edit, this is going to edit that livery. That livery is it's one file that applies to all your cars. We don't want to do that. If I change it here, it's going to mess up on the Mercedes. What we need to do is we need to create a new one. We simply need to create a new one. Unless I'm still learning this as well. There may be a way to change this and save it as a new one. But for now, what we're going to do is, and this is why it's important to save these decals as groups. Here I have all these letters, you know, total, effing. I have all these letters and I have them saved as one group. Now that's easy to do. Again, we'll cover that later. So what we're going to want to do is, if I want to apply that same livery and make it match this Porsche, as you can see, the car is a much different size. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to back up. We're going to go create livery. Okay, so now we got a blank slate. That's a little bit intimidating when you have a blank slate and you have, in that case, 70 layers of decals. No problem. We'll just go new. Now what we can do is, again, I'm using an Xbox controller, so it's going to be different, you know, on whichever control scheme you have. So I'm going to hit the right bumper all the way over to local. Local, those are the groups of vinyls, you know, of decals and etc. that I've saved. We currently only have the total effing decal, no problem. So we're going to pull that up. So we created a new livery, and what we can do is we can now edit this. We'll just move this over to fit, and we can move it up, down, wherever we want. There we go. That's good. Okay, we're lacking the darkness. We need the darkness off. We need the rest of the livery that we don't have. That's no problem. We'll just go back. So what we can do is we can go to select. Let's grab the other one, the one that doesn't fit. Let's just let's edit this, and let's go to the top. Okay, here we have all the stuff that makes up the top. Okay, this is a perfect example of how we can do this. So we want the darkness, right? Notice down at the bottom, it says if I push the right stick, I can create a group. We want to create a group and get the darkness part of it, right? That would be handy since we have the total effing as a saved decal, and I'm sorry for the implied profanity, right? And then we have this. What we can do is we can push the right stick. Notice I put a check mark over that S. So we'll just, and now again, using the Xbox controller, we'll hit X, X on each of these. Okay, now these are all selected. Now we just hit A to accept, and bam, that is now a saved group of decals. All right, so now what we can do is we can push the menu button, go down here, save group to library. That is now saved to the library. Let's go back and select that other livery. This is just how it works. And honestly, I know that there's a bit of hassle here, but honestly, I think this is good because so many games make one livery specific to one car, and then if you want to put that on a different car, you can't. At least in it, so there's a bit of hassle here, but you see what I'm saying? It allows you to carry it over. All right, so we have this here. We have it only on the left side. If we go to the right side, it's not here, but we know how to do that, right? You know, we know how to do that now. Let's just go to the menu, copy to the opposite side. Let's go over to the right side. We're simply going to select this, and we're going to horizontal flip this. Bam. This game makes it so easy to create your own groups and then manipulate them. All right, guys. So the darkness that we just did on, we just grabbed from the other livery. We're going to go to top side right here. So we're on the top side of the car. We're going to go new. Oh, bam. Look, it's now under our local groups. Now we can adjust it. Let's go ahead and hit A for edit. And we can adjust this to fit our Porsche however we want. We'll just say like this. So there is a downside to this. The downside being, if I want this livery on every car, that means that yes, I will have to have, you know, X number of variations of this livery, you know, one for each car. Yes, that is a bit inconvenient. The upside, the cool part of this is that you can do that, you know, like, okay, so we have the back part. Let's swap vehicles. Let's do this one more time. Let's swap vehicles back to the Mercedes. So here we are back on their Mercedes. We go to the back, and I have this cool little, I have the, this is still kind of a work in progress, but I have the Darkdally, and I have the Darkdally logo here on the back of the car. Okay, so we want to put this on the Porsche, right? Because this doesn't line up either. Here, let's go to swap vehicles. Let's go back to the Porsche. Here it is. We're going to go ahead and select this. And we're going to go to customize. A lot of this is muscle memory. Once you flick through these menus enough, it becomes easy. Let's select. Let's put this other. Oh, here it is. Let's put this livery back on, which doesn't match. So that we've now reapplied the livery that does not match the Porsche. Let's go back here and you'll see how Darkdally doesn't line up. We need to fix that. So X for customize. We're going to go back to livery. My livery select. We're going to go select the other one that does match the Porsche. Of course, we're missing some of the shapes, but no problem. We can, oh, that's right. We don't have Darkdally saved as a local group. Okay, no problem. It just requires going back just a little bit. Just go back. Let's go back. I actually did forget this. I didn't mean to make this a huge thing. I actually did forget this. Actually, you know what? We can do it right here now that I think about it. You know what? You guys probably already realized it. I just realized it. We can do it here, and there's something else I want to show you too. So let's go ahead, select livery. We're just going to go ahead and edit the one that it's currently using. We're not going to move it because, again, if we move anything here, it moves it on the Mercedes. We're not going to move anything. The reason we came here is to save the Darkdally on the back as a group because I haven't done that yet. Where is the backside? There it is. We need to save this as a group. See, it's made as a group, but it needs to be saved as a group. So we're going to hit the menu button, save group to library. Now I have my Darkdally logo here. I would save this one too, but it's pretty rudimentary right now, so I don't want to do that just yet. Oh, what you just saw me do, keep this in mind as well. I'm using, again, I only know the Xbox controls. I am playing this on PC, but I'm using an Xbox controller. You use the right stick, or you use the left stick to cycle between layers. Keep in mind, if you use the D-pad, it moves those layers. That was a bit confusing to me at first when I was trying to figure this system out. Okay, so we now have Darkdally saved. We don't have the logo saved, but I want to redo that logo. That's okay. So here's what we do, guys. We're going to go back. We're going to go over to this other one. So we have this one. We're going to apply that. Now we're going to go down to edit. Now, if we go to the back side of the car, we don't have the Darkdally. Well, see, it wasn't in the right place. This car is shaped differently. We're going to hit new, and you already guessed it. We're going to go over to local, and now here we have the Darkdally. Go ahead and apply it, edit it. Now we can move it however we want. We should be able to change its color. Let's actually see. Yes, we can modify its color to whatever we want that matches this car. Let's just make it black for this car. And let's go ahead and edit and let's, whoops, there we go. We can do whatever we want. Let's just go ahead and back out of that. And so that's going to be the livery, that's going to be the livery that we use for the Porsche here. Now, of course, again, if I want to apply this to other cars, it's going to require me having several versions of this saved. That is what it is. But considering how other games are more difficult, this is actually a pretty handy thing. So guys, I hope this was helpful. I do plan to have future videos on liveries as well as many other aspects of the crew too, because this game is so much fun. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have questions, put them in the comments below. Guys, it's been a real pleasure. I'm Darkdally. I will catch you guys next time.